Hi, welcome to Baldur's Kitchen, where the magic's cooked up. We've got another Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds clan campaigns game for you today. So this game is going to be a 1v3 on a normal map, and I'll be playing as a random civilization, so a little bit stacked against me, but let's see what we can do. So I'll give you a commentary as I play. Very interested in seeing what civilization I am. Okay, start on Confederacy. So normal start, building a prefab quickly, and then building an animal nursery. Wow, plenty of food there. Okay, so it might be quite a high resource map, judging from the number of nerfs and the number of berries over there. So, okay, so let's just get some more carbon for the moment. I'll put some more nerfs. Okay. Let's get those back to my base. So let's build another animal nursery, but I do want to get supply blocked as well. So let's put those there and get him to build a prefab first, like so. And then we'll build an animal nursery. Right, I can see holocrons being revealed on the small map there. So let's. Oh, I was just going to say get basic training, but it's Confederacy, so they don't need basic training. They already have strong workers to begin the game with. Okay. So let's start collecting food as well. So let's build a food processing centre there, and then start to get new guys onto food. Nearly 50 food there. Okay, so in the meantime, I'm now scouting around the board, trying to find opponents. So this is one of the opponents I'm facing up against. Let's go and see if I can find another one. Oh, it's something to be aware of. You just need to be careful about going directly away from an opponent, because you can get your scout shot. So let's build a carbon processor there. Let's build another prefab when I have enough carbon. There we go. There we go. So get those guys going on to food for the moment. Actually, let's start getting new workers on carbon now. Because I need quite a bit of carbon. Sip some coffee. Just keep my my worker queue full, just in case I have to turn my attention to my scout. Anyway, so one of my opponents is Republic, and at the minute I don't know where my other two opponents are. So let's scout the blacked out areas. Now I think my opponents can score a holocron victory, so I need to be careful about not letting my opponent get all of the holocrons on the map. There's a massive amount of hunt there, that's amazing. So it might be that I don't have to go to farms anytime soon. Oh, right, and careful I don't get supply blocked. let's start to go over here. So I can do a little bit of hunting. Oh, nice. Some more nerfs. That's why sometimes it's best to scout around your base, focus on that initially, to get those nerfs that are near your base. Right, let's hunt some creatures. Some oopies. So nearly got what I need to tech up. I've got buildings, just need the 500 food. So nearly have the 500 food, so after this worker, bam, let's go up. Now, my resources, is that holocron there? Yeah, brilliant. My resources, unfortunately, are right out there, looking on the small map there, and they don't seem to be that much in the mode deposits. Let's just scout around just to make sure there's none located around here or anything. So I want to try and claim this area. So, oh, look at that, that's interesting. What I might do is try and block off this, just try and cut down the number of ways that opponent can come at me. Also, I don't want to be supply blocked, so let's build a couple more of those. Then let's build a troop centre, just over here where there's no buildings. A couple more guys to help out do that. Another troop centre. But I want to try and claim the area ahead of me, I think, so I'm blocking that off. I wonder if I can do something similar over here. Let's try and block that off as well. And then look at trying to claim this area here with those resources. So let's try that. So let's get troop upgrades. Then maybe look at getting some Nova now, with a view to going up to tech level 3, but I don't want to do that too quickly really. So I'm hoping my opponent doesn't have a way through to my base where I won't be able to spot him, and they here come primarily from there. So they're going up to tech level 2 as well. So it looks like I beat a lot of them to it, which is great. So let's get some more hunt over there, some more food. So I will want to mine that, but let's get a second turret up, and then let's get a war centre to get some improvements. Let's put it right on the edge there. Let's get these guys back. Let's even try and get a Jedi temple, just to snatch that holocron. There we go. Okay, so far so good. Right, let's guard these guys away in here and here. And now let's get some troops out. What did I see there? Did I see something? No. Let's get troops over here as well. Let's get troops over to here. Does that mean supply blocks? No, not quite. So let's bring those back. So we've got some troops. Let's get these up, get some more troops. Try and outnumber him really. Let's try and pick them off. So that should be successful. So now back over to here. Get these guys out. And get them trying to mine that ore. Oh, I found some more ore. Brilliant. Let's increase the range of my things. And I've said I probably wouldn't get farms, but sometimes I just can't help myself. Get more ore. Ore's wonderful for turrets. So that's turret situation over there. Okay. So getting over the food's goods. Ore would be a great thing to have. So, oh, need another prefab shelter. So I don't get supply blocked. So my Jedi temple, right? Did I not build it? I'm sure I built a Jedi temple. Apparently not. Let's get that up as quickly as I can. That'll be my second tech level 2 building. So get these guys collecting ore again. And then, so my soldiers, let's get them over here. Let's build another turret. Now I do need to be careful about my opponent coming in with air, but I do have troop centres, so if need be, I can get an anti-air troops, which is a very real option. So, right, let's run out to the front and see if I can grab that holocron before they snatch it with their Jedi. So plenty of food coming in. Nicely lining myself up to going up to tech level 3. Let's put those guys in there to make the attack stronger of those turrets. Right, what's that? Okay, unfortunately they found a way around the back. So, gosh. So let's bring back some of the troopers, sort of do a divide and conquer thing. I'm going to go over that. I'm going to go after the holocron, even though I'm being attacked, and that Jedi Padawan is a counter. So let's just see if I can draw them in. House. So should I get another? Right, that's why it never got built. So let's delete that because I have one now. So I have that holocron. So that establishes then that he won't get a holocron victory. Let's get guys back to work. Maybe on food. And also let's build some more troop centres because we are a troop civ after all. Let's try and do it on the edges of the and then the war centre. Troop centre. Get the full range of upgrades. So get those into carbon. So I must remember that I've got those animal nurseries because it's very easy to get way more food than you need, and I probably am leaning that way at the moment, if I'm honest. So really important now to I want to get up to tech level 3 urgently. So let's get this holocron back. So I've got 2 Jedis, or 2 Padawans. Get some more turrets, all within range of each other. That's really important. Let's just get more food because that's what I need to tech up. Now, right. So they obviously found a way out around. I wonder if it's through there. I can deal with that once I get to tech level 3 by building a fortress there, something to defend from that direction, which would do that quite nicely. Sip of my coffee. Right, I want to get to level 3. So much so that I might even make this the last work that I build. Get these goes back onto ore. So I don't mind if I lose that. Right, there we go. Right, I'm on my way to tech level 3. So I've been steadily collecting ore. So I'm looking at, you know, two fortresses, maybe one to defend this flank, because he's obviously found a way through. So time to do upgrades. Actually need more food to get those upgrades. That ore one will be a good one to get. Right, so now what's coming into attack? Not too many units really, but I can have these away. That's fine. So that's a very strong defensive group of turrets there. So I've got masses of ore, so I'm really looking forward to getting to tech level 3. Really looking forward to it. See what I've got in there. So their soldiers are in there. Their workers, their soldiers, their workers. So get those back to work. And same with those. Get those back to work, and then I'm back where I started. Let's just repair that. Right, they're still popping away there. Actually, I'll just use these Padawans to dispatch these, because Padawans counter. Let's hold that one up. They counter infantry like that. Right, so to level 3. So let's look at getting up a fortress just to defend against that flank. Let's get that there, and then similarly here, let's get a fortress up here. Okay, supply block myself, I think. So let's get some of these going, some prefabs up, the war centre, get that upgrade, because and speaking of which, I could probably do with, what would be nice, is a research centre. Right, sorry, I've got a phone call. Hello? Hello? Hi there, you're right. Hello there, yes, thank you. I'm just calling because I've just had a very quick conversation with Phil about his timetable next week. Sure, yeah, okay. And we're going to do 2 full days. Okay. With a view to upping to 3 next week. And he's identified Monday and Thursday as 2 days that he wants to do as the full days. Right. And then Tuesday and Wednesday and Friday he'll remain on his current timetable, which is 4 lessons. Sure. I think it's a late start on Tuesday, early finish on Wednesday, a late start on Friday. Yeah, brilliant. Is that all right? I'll drop it all in an email and I'll just give you a call. Right, thank you. All right. Right, bye now. Take care, bye. Right, I'm back. Funny time to get a phone call. So am I still alive? What's going on here? Right, okay. Right, so let's try and get my head back in the game. Do some upgrades. So I've got troop sensors. Let's get them into the fortress. Yeah. So not sure what to do with my Padawan. I think I'll leave them as Padawan. I might sneakily get that upgrade. So troops there, which counter Mounties. So the Mounties going down, and then get those in there. So loads of guys coming in. I might just pop those into the fortress. And that should take care of those quite nicely. I'm at level 3, so let's get a fortress up. I need more ore, so let's get those onto ore for a sec. Away. So where am I? So I need to get up another command center. Not enough carbon. God, must nearly have enough carbon. Really, quite short. Let's have to think. So I need to get my head back in the game. There's some important things I need to do. I'm just trying to get my head into, just trying to remind myself what they are. Right, so I need to boom. Oh yeah, and it's that large amount of ore that I've got, which is perfect for building fortresses. So build them basically. So put double fortress there. And let's look at similarly getting another fortress up here. Kind of in effect doing a double fortress here. And we'll just do a little repair job on there. Now the thing is, we're building these fortresses, obviously they're brilliant for defence, but it also opens up the option of using the Confederacy special unit, the flying unit. So, right, research centre, get that. Actually, yeah, let's get that. With that ore, I can look at getting some of the other upgrades as well for buildings. So, get on carbon. So let's build another command center. Right, at the minute, not enough carbon, so let's just grab some and take it back. Get that last bit of ore. So war center. Grab my troops. Research center. Nearly got that. Now a great upgrade would be that which increases the damage considerably of my turrets. So what am I short of there? I need carbon, which I now have. So get those guys on carbon. So I'm just trying to catch up after my phone call, because obviously that I was away for actually quite a big length of time, which wasn't good. So okay, so I'm very I've got quite a good strong defensive position on the go. Let's get those guys. I've got enough carbon to build another center. Yep, I have. Command center. Yep, brilliant. Okay, let's just bring these guys back. Just lure that air unit towards my fortresses. So let's keep doing troop upgrades. So Confederacy is a troop civ, especially once you get to tech level 4. Then they start to shine because they've got an upgrade which in effect gives them +1 damage over other civilizations, and gives them some more hit points as well. So right, let me get more prefabs, because actually my supplies were really good because I've built fortresses, and I think they give you like 20 population, extra population you can have. So where are we at? What's going on? Okay, so research center. Let's increase the strength of my turrets. I think what I'd like to do, right, is get up to tech level 4. Just so I've got more options on things. So what I'm thinking of, just so you know what I've got in mind, obviously we're a great troop civ, Confederacy, but what I have in mind is to use, because I've got 4 fortresses, is to look at using air, Geonosian warriors. Let's get these upgrades. Because on such a big map there's a lot of ground to cover, and actually air units can sort of fly over their walls, because when you're playing against computers they wall off very consistently. I don't seem to be being attacked at the minute, and score-wise I'm ahead of my opponents. But yes, come on James, you need to get up to level 4. Now I had a couple of Jedi, where did they go? Okay, doesn't matter. So as I want food, let's take those off carbon. Let's get those hunting these guys over here. Carbon. Just missing the keys there slightly. Right, so one of them have actually gone on to tech level 4. So the significance of that is, if they've reached tech level 4, for example, it means they can use cannons from fortresses and the like, which could put my buildings under danger. So what I want to do, I really want to rush to tech level 4 now. So I'm gonna lay off building new workers and just let myself sort of coast to tech level 4. Just put some more farms here. And then I might start to use Genocian Warriors air if I can against them. But we'll see how that goes. So my food's shooting up, Corey. You can see how quick it's going. There we go. So I'm on my way to level 4 to catch up with at least one of my opponents, that's all. Right, so what we got coming up here? Stone War Centre, that's okay. The thing with the troops is with the obviously like Mounties are fast troopers for getting around the board, but the rest of troopers are very slow, and it's a big map, and I need to hit my opponents. So I might play defensively and then try and hit their economies using air. So have I got any workers? Let's do a little repair job on that because he was doing a good job. I don't really want to lose my so let's do a repair job there. I don't want to lose that turret if it can be avoided. So right, you can see my from my economy that I've got resources really flowing in now. So I might actually get Genocian Warriors at this stage, put them there just so I can get them to one location and then see where they are. So I'll build them now, and then hopefully I'll be in a position to do the upgrade. Okay. So is that going? So I have my research centre. Not enough for. Let's sell some. I need a spaceport to do that. So indeed, let's get a spaceport as quickly as I can. Some monument, research centre, spaceport. Genocian diligence. So my that's really important because that helps my my workers be more productive. Okay, so it's going smoothly at the moment. More workers. So let's get more ore, and then research centre. Let's improve my turrets. What's going on there? Oh, good source of food. I'm not sure where they came from, but let's put that there. Get more carbon. Right, so with my Genocian Warriors, I'm in a great position now. Let's make sure I've got get upgrades for my resources and the like. War Centre, let's get that to increase the range of my turrets and fortresses. Let's build another research centre, I think that's necessary. A turret. Got to do that. What do I need ore for that? 300 ore. Oh, I'm out of Nova. What I can do is I can sell some of that. And then get that upgrade. Right, Genosian Warriors. Let's go. Let's take the battles to them now. I'm tech level 4. Got good air. Right. Let's see if I can hit red. Okay. These things do have 0 range. The Genosian Warriors. So let's. Right, 2 fortresses not good, but if I'm flying past them, I think I might be able to do it right, and then stop. Over to here, and stop. So really I'm just trying to hit the economy, you know. So any more upgrades I can grab? So another thing I can do is troop center is get them into fortresses to increase the amount of damage my fortresses do. So there's those 2 Padawans. Might as well house those as well. Okay, so Genosian Warriors. Alright, let's see what we got in the way of opponents over here. So there's a turret. So there's Blue. He's trade fed. So where are his? Alright, here we go. So I'm just trying to hit their economies really. Keep moving. Gosh, lots of turrets, lots of fortresses and things up, that's for sure. Okay. Right, let's keep building Genosian Warriors. So looking at my plan, I think my plan is use Genosian Warriors for a bit, try and hit my opponent's economies. Let's see if I can get a second band of Genosian Warriors out. See what happens there. And then sort of transition into a different style of play. I'm not sure at the minute what that style of play will be, but I'm sure I'll make it up as I go along. So let's try and save those guys. Let's get those out to sea and then concentrate on over here. So unfortunately there's some anti-air just there. Let's take those 2 out. There's a turret there, but obviously that can't hit me. Take these guys out. Right, these are Gungans. So I'm just trying to hit the economy, hit my opponent's economy. Let's bring these guys over to marry things up there. And then ball center. Let's start getting troop upgrades and things. Right, let's get these guys over here. What I need, I actually need more. I feel like I need more ore and things like that. So let's have a little, not necessarily ore, but also Nova. So there's a deposit there. Right, my opponent's trying to grab that. Okay, still trying to keep wrecking their economies. Let's get away from that anti-air. That's alright. That's quite nasty. Right, so that way. Move that. Right, now I probably need to put some thought in with where I go now. So I really do need that. What do I need? 300 Nova. I'm getting there with 300. 500 carbon. That'll make my troops really good. Nearly at 300. There we go. So let's move some of these guys into there. Let's just seal this off if I can. And then with this much, I've got masses of carbon. So let's go mass troops. The map doesn't seem to be great for Nova, yeah. So that kind of limits my option to sort of carbon and food-based units a bit more, and I can't trade because I don't have an ally. So might go mass troops. I don't mind too much if I lose the Genosium Warriors now, because I think I served my purpose. I hit my opponent with them a bit, you know. Brought their economy back a little bit. So if you look at the scoreline, I'm doing. Oh man, there's some ore there. Could really do with that. Let's look at grabbing those guys. See if I can get them over to there. See if I can get these guys over as well. Try and snatch that. What the deposits are around that there. So, thing is, I have to get all these upgrades for my troops. So let's gather my troops to say there. So they'll go to one place. So I'd love to get hold of that Nova there if I can, but I don't know if that's possible, but let's try that anyway. Right, what have we got going on here? Get some troops. We're rallying some troops to that point. Try and claim that Nova. So what do I need for that? I need more Nova. I've got troops on the way. Let's use these Genosium Warriors to try and get them in that situation. Have an Animal Nursery. Where's the Animal Nursery? Did I build one? Because these guys have got reeks, yeah, which are good against buildings and they only cost food. So let's waypoint that over to here to try and destroy these buildings. I think that would be such great fun to see. Plenty of buildings trying to get that. I think actually, thing to note here, right, is if the map is low on deposits like Nova and things, that applies to my enemy as well as me. So that might mean that my enemy might struggle to like get Jedi at me and air to a degree, and like assault mechs and that kind of thing. So right here comes the Reeks. Let's just get more of those, shall we? They're fun, aren't they? So let's locate these again. That's fun. Right. So, did we get troops out to this point? So, let's get more of these guys. What's being built there? Command center. Okay. So, can we get that upgrade yet? Yes, good. So that's all the Orgon, which is that's okay. Let's get more guys on hunting. Just get a mixture of units, and let's rally them all to there. Disperse formation. So, right, importantly, where's his Mountie? Mounties counter artillery, but troops don't do well against artillery. They get a bit battered. So let's get the Mounties going in first. So what you need, there's almost like there's a good troop unit to counter everything. So artillery rocks against standard infantry, but they fall to Mounties like this, as you can see is happening here. So again, get these Mounties to take out the artillery. And grenade troopers are good just against mechs, really. So we've got a Reek coming. Still trying to take down these buildings. Any upgrades? I've not done that one. So you want a mixture of troopers, but really you want to focus on the artillery, I'd say. So a small amount of the other types of troopers, and plenty of artillery. All right, okay. Right, there you go. Let's just delete that. Fancy that I'm getting supply blocked, which is what I want. So let's get these guys in this direction. So, and then grab my Reeks. They're on the way. Reeks are basically like pummels. Now, interesting, check this wall up. Sometimes what the computer players do, right, is that they... Right, okay, this is strategically really important. I've got a feeling that green has entirely walled himself off with no gate there. That's my theory, which means that, if that's the case, I'm only going to get attacked from this direction, which means I can push in one direction, which would be brilliant. So... So let's like reinforce this point here. If I can just take down these command centers, get anti-air here. Did I get attack programming? Not enough Nova. I nearly have enough Nova. Right, I get that attack programming, and then actually, as it happens, my my workers are actually quite strong to use for taking down buildings and the like. Just make sure. Let's just maximise that. So I've got loads of food. Let's try something interesting. Let's build a number of animal nurseries. Yeah, because then I can build some of the animal units that Confederacy can uniquely produce. Let's just make sure. Get loads of supply. So, right, good. I've got down those buildings now. So I think then I can therefore push in one direction, which is this direction. Right, so let's pull my guys back. So get my new troops there. And then animal nurseries, get them there as well. And new animal nurseries, get them there. So let's build some of these anti-trooper units. I think I just have fun using those. So I think they're going to look great if nothing else. Let's get dispersed formation. I might even get these anti-building units to attack, to provide a bit of cover. So let's get loads of those and get them reinforcing here. So anti-air can stay at the back. Here we go, look, I'm just going to have fun with these. Look at these are like spider-like units. They're actually anti-trooper units, but I think if I get them close, let's just make a bit of room for them to get through. I think my troopers are blocking their path to my opponents. Wow, looks like I can push a bit here actually. Wow, they're fast. I like those. So what's the shortcut for my animal nurseries? Wish I knew what that was. Anyway, they're quite full at the moment. I know where they'll be gated. So let's get these guys in. Let's bring the anti-air up, disperse it a bit, and bring it to back up. In fact, I can just now let's adjust my waypoint. So these guys have got obviously brilliant troopers, as I've said quite a few times. So let's really reinforce, send in troopers, try and just need a few more of these. We're good after that, I think. I'm starting to have a lot of fun with those animal nursery units. So much fun, in fact, that more workers. Let's get guys to the front line, and then we're going to look out. Just looking for some workers. So let's build here. Right, some more animal nurseries, so I can get reeks up and things. As I said, these units, I think they're all built using food, which means they're not built using Nova, which is great from my perspective. Okay, so it's looking good at the moment. Get some Mounties out as well. So in addition to that, also build troop centres. So, oh, and amazing! There's that Nova still there. I need to grab that. Let's get these guys on there. But it's so important that so keep producing this. Got plenty of resources. And then, so where are we at? So these guys get some reeks to the front. From there, so these animal nurseries, oh, they're looking good. Okay. Do you know what? I'm starting to feel actually a little bit encouraged by where this game's going. I'm starting to feel very encouraged. I'm starting to think maybe I've got a route to winning the game. And that's 3v1. I can just overwhelm my opponent. Right, the reeks, really important. So, now, from what I understand, these reeks, right, they're not quite pummels in terms of their resilience, but yeah, but Confederacy troops are really strong. So let's just, they do, as I was saying, they do +1 damage over opponent, over the civs. So let's just check I've got all my upgrades here. Research center. Okay, let's see where we can go with this game then. Right. So let's get in lots of reeks, yeah, for the purposes of taking down buildings. And then getting off these guys. So let's focus on one thing at a time. So let's get the troops, bounty hunters they're using, but we don't have any Jedi, so right, these are anti-troop units, the spider-like ones. So got to keep my production going of troopers, it's really, really important. And get them all going in the right place as well. Really important. So important I keep that going. Likewise from the animal nurseries. Really important I keep pumping out units. Remember to bring in grenade troopers because I think I'm getting a bit overwhelmed. Yeah. Okay. Difficulty I've got is that he's got assault mechs here, and they counter troops. So it's really important that I take those down as quickly as I can. Kind of by getting some grenade troopers, but. So good, I've got a decent amount of grenade troopers that I can start to work on those strike mechs. I'm just coming up with the I need to pull my guys back. They're getting a bit cut up. So grenade troopers. Grenade troopers should do fine against those skeletons. Let's just retreat a little bit because let's just pull back. So basically they're getting more advanced units. So I'm not sure where they're getting their Nova from. So I'm just pulling the guys back a bit, just to conserve. Oof. So let's gather my troops back here. Trying to make use of my buildings. Ouch, right. Grenade troopers, let's try and pop away those strike mechs. See, they're trade fed strike mechs, so potentially I'm pretty sure they would have been upgraded all the way, which makes them very powerful. So grenade troopers are dealing very nicely with those strike mechs. That's encouraging. Right, let's keep my head about me. I've got lots of ore, which can mean even more, and I know what direction I'm getting attacked from, yeah? So let's strategically get up more fortresses towards the front of things here. So grenade troopers. So the grenade troopers are looking very favourable, even though they're only good against mechs. But then I know I'm up against trade fed, and they do produce lots of mechs, and I like to say, let's go like pull these back. Let's try to do one of these strike mechs again. Just pull them guys back. Potentially I could get flanked there, so I need to be careful. So it's really important I get that fortress up. Sometimes these things turn into like an attrition, what was it, the phrase where basically you just like, it turns into a bit of a bloodbath. So let's get grenade troopers, just hitting those strike mechs. Just targeting the strike mechs with grenade troopers. Because the strike mechs are the counter to infantry. Right, I need more grenade troopers. Come on, fortress. Let's get that fortress up. So, right. They counter troops. So I'm trying to get the right counters against the right things. Come on, fortress. Let's get you up. And as soon as that pops up, I can put in soldiers into it. A lot of soldiers, in fact. So just get those out of the way. Get troopers inside, and that will really boost the damage output it does. As many as we're fit into it. Okay, that's good. So how are we doing here? Nuts, cannons. So I need to quickly take those cannons out. So mounties. I've only got one mountie. Troops. Get some troops. So there. Here, sorry. Pull these guys back. What I'm going to do is get them here, but then put them on defensive stance, just so it would be great if I could get up a sell some stuff here and get all, because I think this really can be the way forward, using fortresses in this way. Oh, my farm's going down. Oh gosh. Okay, I should have kept my make sure my farms are up to date. You see, I've lost a lot of them. Just keep these guys back. Just hold on, stand your ground, guys, behind the fortress. That's really important. And getting up that second fortress would be great. Now, is this realistic to just tentatively build it from there? Can they reach me or not? I think they're fine actually at the fortress itself being built, so that's encouraging. What's going on over here? Command center going up. Let's use my my workers to try and stop that from happening. How are we doing? Yes, get in there. That's good. So let's keep building troopers and getting to this point here. Keep building troopers. Got plenty of supply to do that. Good. Right, let's get those guys in there to increase the damage it does. Let's use the spaceport again to sell this and buy more ore. So, possibly get up another. Just need to do a little bit more. So we have the third fortress up there. To manage to get those houses. Right, let my farms deplete again, which is silly. And then perhaps I can respond by tentatively trying to put a cannon forward. So if I can take out that fortress, which in itself produces cannons. So what's the housing situation? Let's keep building troops. I'm going to lose that, aren't I? Or I think I'm going to lose that cannon, it's too exposed. Right, I've got an issue there because that cannon. Right, have I got any mounties? Try and get some mounties. I've got a cannon on me that's is firing. I might just do something mad. Let's just try and everything to just try and take this cannon out. Oh, there's a second cannon coming up as well. I need mounties to take that cannon out. Have I got any mounties? Here we go. Right. Okay, they've got to take that cannon out. That's quite interesting, actually. Right, things are looking a bit. Let's try and get. So let's use them to a fortress. Oh, I've not succeeded in doing that. Is that because they're going around the back or something? Yeah. Right. I want to keep my fortress alive. Right, what if I can house those in there? House those in there. Right, so time to use my spaceport again. Sell carbon and food, which I've got masses of. Using it to get lots of ore. And then the purpose of that is then I might be able to use it to repair my fortress. Let's try and shoot these guys up. So I need 400 carbon food, so Nova. How odd. So let's sell food. Let's see if I can get that Presidium. I'm just concerned that that fortress is getting a little bit low on health. If I lose it, okay, if I lose it, I lose it, I guess. But if I could repair it, that would be great. Right, let's get some of these mounties. Bring them over here. There's things going up over here that I'm starting to get a bit flanked. Oh dear. That's because my fortress is struggling. So there I'm just starting to repair it. So because my fortress is taking so much damage, which makes me think let's build more troops. I might actually send troops over here. So where I'm at is, I think at this stage in the game it starts to become a little bit about resources and what resources are left. Because I think everybody at this stage is struggling to find resources. So I don't want workers getting through and then them start to... I've done it again. I've not replenished my farms. It takes a while to correct that when you do that by mistake. Let's just shoot the artillery because that does the most damage. Yeah, if it's all possible, it would be really nice to be able to block that off. That's... So need to get rid of those cannons, or else they're in serious trouble. Okay, that's interesting. So keep the troops coming, but this time get them back over here. We do a repair drop on that. So basically I'm trying to see here if I can win a war of attrition. Right, look at that, you see that? So he's come over onto my side of the wall. He's obviously desperate for resources, that's my guess. So let's try and fight that battle while this is all going on. Because resources equal units. Let's get some anti-air over there as well. The troops doing okay against the strike mechs, which are actually their counter. What's going on there? Let's pull these guys back. Got anti-air, yeah, got some anti-air. So stop. Keep moving troops. Keep those farms up so that the farms will auto regenerate. Right, am I being hit by another cannon or something? Because I'm taking damage there. Right, so where are we at? So reeks to take down buildings. Get those over here, and add more nurseries. Get more reeks. More reeks. Yeah, strike mechs, they do. Gungan mechs, Gungan mechs are okay, but having the +1 on these infantry is actually quite useful in its own way. Right here's the reeks. Just coming into. Take take down these buildings. The Greeks do seem to be taking a long time to take buildings down. They are anti, they're like pummels, but they don't seem as strong. As I understand, that wall doesn't seem to have a way through it. Let's get some more anti-air. I'm kind of tempted to maybe try and take the battle to green a little bit, but then I don't want to. Right, let's get these guys over here. What I'm thinking, right, there's a logic to this, right, is that the units the most dangerous to me are produced from fortresses in terms of, and if I can take down the fortresses with Reeks, then they won't. I think they might not be able to rebuild their fortresses because there's not too much in the way of ore on the board, and then that would mean then they won't be able to produce units that are too dangerous to me. So let's look at that. So let's get Reeks for taking down buildings. So let's leave that for now. Start to move towards this again. Let's pull my guys back. You see, I'm not being faced with things like artillery, and I think that's because they're heavy on Nova. Yeah. So if they can't produce artillery, then that makes troopers good against everything really except strike max. And nothing by that logic, I think maybe we're at the stage in the game where my opponent can't build cannons because they take Nova. So look at all those Reeks. Let's get these guys over here. Let's try and take some buildings down. So let's move forward. I'm going to send these Reeks through to try and attack the fortress. No, that fortress, right, let's abandon that because that fortress is barely going down. That command center's so nearly down. Let's continue trying to take that down. There we go. And let's retreat for a sec, because I don't think that's a cost-effective battle. Interestingly, do you know what? Did I Jedi Temple? I've got the 2 holocrons, which means that I can build cannons, so that gives me the edge in this game. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a fortress further back to produce cannons, and then they don't get exposed, and then I can really push into there. I'm at full population. Yikes. Here we go. So I've got cannons coming up from behind. Let's see if I can get another 2 of those. Let's just pull back a little bit. Gosh, that cannon's entirely exposed. So what's that? Building a command centre there. If I can just get a cannon onto the fortress, shooting at a fortress. Let's try and push out now. See, I see an opening here. Let's push out. Let's get these cannons on these fortresses. Let's get troops out. Gosh, he's got a cannon up. Right, let's get that cannon quickly. Must get that cannon out. It's the same here with these guys. Must get that piece of artillery. Okay, so this is looking more healthy now. So let's get the troops, but get them to the front line here. So get these guys from the back to the front. Then I can afford to get him out, buy some ore and repair that. This goes in there. So cannons are doing a great job now. So let's get all units that are being used, get to the front. Let's do this manually. Okay, cannons are going down nicely. Oh. Got masses of food, haven't I? So use my cannons to hit his cannons, I think. Yeah, just bear in mind those cannons are really costly in terms of Nova. Let's just come back. I don't want to overextend. Let's bring the guys back to my cannons. So what I can look at is getting an air cruiser, which could prove really valuable. As I said, I've got 2 holocrons. I'm not sure about my opponent, but I have got a source of Nova. I wonder if they're out of Nova. I don't know. I've got a good feeling about this game, oddly enough. So let's pull these guys back. Masses of anti-air. That's for sure. Let's get the cannons down. So for me, those cannons are units I just need to keep an eye on. Save now. So I'm using troopers, but my troopers are very strong because they're Confederacy. So there are only more buildings I can pick off. There's a command centre there. This air cruiser, right. Now this could start to get interesting once I start deploying this air cruiser. Right. So watch out when it starts to fire. Why is my air cruiser firing? Some kind of dud air cruiser. What? That's very confusing. Why isn't that air cruiser firing? Was it broken or something? Am I missing something? Did you see it fire? Look, I so need that air cruiser to fire. Why isn't it firing? There we go, finally. Took forever. Let's get troops up front. So I'm actually going to now bring these troops out from here, just to increase what I can bring to the table. So I'm slowly starting to kind of take the offensive now, really. Oh, I could lose my air cruiser here. Let's do everything I can to take down these guys here. It's so important. Oh, no. Take down that anti-air. So okay, now look over here. This is where it starts to get interesting. I've got the potential to take down some important buildings, which it might be difficult to rebuild from red points of view. Let's get the guys at the back to the front. So advance really. Now, there's some great stuff I can take down over there. If I can reach that, let's get him down because I think he's just firing at walls. Keep the troops coming forward. Let's just check the situation back here. So there's guys that could do. I wonder if they're stuck. Let's pop them in there. Pop these guys in there, and then empty them out like so. Right, can I get some more cannons out? Population limit reached. Down and that down. Let's get those guys into action. Let's get them also firing on the shield generator. Let's get him firing that shield generator. So plenty of cannons now. Bring the ball into effect. Oh, that's a nice little shot. Don't get that. Seems to be struggling to take down that shield generator. I'm just wondering why. Fire anything at it. Okay, that's better. Not sure what's going on there. Let's move troops to the front. Just clear the way a bit. Important is keep producing the troops. Now, so what's my resources? So too much food for words, but yeah, it's going well. It's going well. Right, the shield generator has gone down, which means I can have a heyday now, just firing at buildings. Just firing at different buildings. And that really gives me a chance to hit. Wow, look at that area there. Bring guys at the back to the front. So I'm starting to take the offensive now. Where's my air cruiser? Gosh. Just look at that target-rich environment, or what? Wow. course, actually, I've just probably didn't take into account that my enemy, because they've got lots of allies, they can in fact use spaceports to produce Nova. So all the better to be taking over guys on the side of the board. Let's get another cannons. Got plenty of supply now, so I must have been taking some damage or something. So let's get these to the front. So let's bring all my cannons down, and then let's bring them really into my opponent's base. All these settlers over here, workers. That's their targets for. So let's get the cannons into my opponent's base. Still got that air cruiser. Probably don't want that air cruiser to get too close to that fortress over there where it gets shot down. So let's just start picking things off with individual cannons. So that forget the anti-air, I don't have any air. That power core has been built there. Troop centre. Oh, that farms again. Okay. Just remarkably, that air cruiser is still alive. It seems like they can't kill it or something. Right, let's get that cannon on that fortress. That'd be a lovely target to get down. So yeah, we're not firing on walls. Let's get you guys firing on buildings. Get that cannon down, that cannon down. So let's retry across and hit that. Command center. Just start to pick off opponent's buildings. So let's did my air cruiser finally get taken down after all that time? Too far to attack. Right, now my carbon's getting low. So I think this is a situation where it's my enemies. Where are my workers?
Scanning. Enemy engaged.
Let's get to there. Must have some carbon workers somewhere there.
Enemy engaged verified.
Let's try and take out those. So what I might do is, right, because my carbon's getting so low, I might get some more workers out to try and go back to building workers, yeah. It could well be that my opponent's taken out a lot of my carbon workers using air or something when I wasn't watching. So let's bear in mind. Right, let's get these cannons down. So I'm starting to run out of carbon, which I don't want to happen. So let's get more guys out on carbon. and take that power core down.
Enemy engaged. Swap market in sight. Enemy engaged.
Let's take him down. Can I reach that? Too far away. Let's try and take that fortress down. So the power core's gone down. Take down various buildings. Some cannons there. Turret. Jedi Temple again. Command Center, we'll get that power core. So I'm pushing into blue now. Keep my phones up to speed. How are we doing? So I seem to have blockage there, doesn't it? It's causing issues for pathing. So I might bring those guys to there. What I might do is set my waypoint there and then take them manually over, because there does seem to be some pathing issues. Can I reach the fortress? Too far away. It's too far away because I haven't researched that. I should have researched that ages ago, shouldn't I really? Down. So let's get those guys up there.
Weapons activated.
Gosh, can you see that hologram? So let's use these, try and take down some buildings. Can I afford more? Actually, my Jedi. Let's get one Padawan up. Try and get that holocron there. Come on, Sensei.
Weapons activated.
Take those guys down. Let's bring them into the fray. Get more troops over here. Whoa! Stuff being built behind my
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay, brilliant. So where's my Jedi? Where did he go? Oh, he got killed. Let's get another Jedi out of them. I start to get pushed back. I'm being charged by enemy workers, which is funny. Right, I'm going to even. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to. Oh, I can't destroy it. I wonder if I can eat my way through. So let's get all of these down. I've got any other. I've got less cannons than I had. Right. So let's just pick off certain things. So these two. Let's pick off that. Right, Jedi. So let's get back then to my Jedi temple, which was where? There. So I might build an air cruiser if I can. It's important to try to take down that fortress, I think, because that's what's producing cannons and the like, which I think they're relying on quite a bit. There's a strike back there. Let's take these guys down, bring them forward. Let's try and get that fortress as well. Look at all those troopers that I didn't bring forward. Cannon go there, take that cannon out. Take these cannons out. Take these cannons out. It's important to get rid of those. I want to know what's behind here. There's stuff over there, I'm sure. So let's take one to take out that turret, and then the other two to look at that fortress. That would be a lovely target to take down, and the anti-air for that matter. So I'm going to send another one on the anti-air. Get to my fortresses, bring in more cannons, more troopers, a bit more anti-air. Let's take out these so get troopers to the front. Wow. There's another fortress over there. Send him toward that. Another cannon. Send it towards that fortress. I might send some. I'm going to send some troops over to various places here, just to make sure that Red's not rebuilding. Just a bit concerned that Red might be rebuilding behind me. So let's use that. Right, Red is gone. So, but it kind of goes for blue as well. So let's just send troops over the various locations there. So let's lower that down. Lower that one. Lower that one. Lower that one. Get troops to the front. There. Now take down that fortress. What we got? What fresh targets we got? The base there. I won't build any more air cruisers now because I kind of think that's not much point. Let's get cannons forward. Forward to here.
Activated. Compensating for shield.
So I'll send future troops over to there. So what we got is an anti-air. Let's just take that down that gate. Take a load of these guys to hit the gate too. Fortress is going down. troops this way. Right, I can now move into my... Oh, that's that. Take down that cannon. Take down these cannons. So I'm bearing down on green now. Blue's still in the game. Okay, so let's get those two down. Get to the front line. Get these guys to the front line. Let's start to push through now. Into my enemy's base. So gun and infantry have quite good range. Right, my carbon's picked up again, which is good. Actually, speaking of which, let's keep my farms built up. Let's get in here and let's take these guys down and then target that fortress. Target's too far away to attack. Move towards it. So get cannons and things. There's no point in taking down walls. So get key things like fortresses and power cores. Fortress. Use these to take down these cannons. Importantly, these guys take down the shield generator. Get that power core. Get into the base. Take down the shield generator. Okay, so that seems to be going alright. Still got blue and green. Blue's actually weirdly doing better than green for some reason. Take down shield generator. That shield generator's severely damaged now. And it's gone. Get those cannons down. Those two on the targeting that. Get these cannons down. Let's take down buildings, power cores, command centers. Prefabs. I'll do mounties now. In fact, what I might do is look at these guys. So as we said before, Reeks. Because the anti-building units, I think they're fairly quick as well. So. Cannons down again. And then that's drawn right here. Push right into my opponent's base. Wow, plenty of get stuff over. Interesting in hitting that Jedi Temple because it might be that it contains holograms. Right, that's green gone, so it just leaves blue. Now there are some blue things in there. Stop targeting blue things. Wow, 2 holograms. This is my Jedi Temple. Okay, him over as well. Okay, let's get cannons right in there. So there's only blue left. And yet I hit blue really badly, so... Let's see what we got here. If I get these cannons in the midst, then there's lots of, I can see self-targeting, so like the Jedi Temple, command center, that command center. Okay, let's go this way, see what there is left of blue. So get some troops, let's get them into various places in Blue's old base, find out if he's held up anywhere. Reeks, get Reeks in, destroy some buildings. Get those down. Okay, so blue seems to have built behind green, so Reeks onto, I suppose they're, maybe perhaps it's because they're fairly cheap. There we go. I have beaten 3 hard computers. So sorry that took so long, but that's life.